6:32, and we're glad you're here with us this morning because one of the hottest races in campaign 2010 right now is for the 5th Congressional District. On the Republican side for the runoff, Kevin Calvey and James Lankford will meet at the polls next Tuesday. They are both joining us in studio this morning. Kevin Calvey.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah. You have a new baby to your family.
We do. Oh, you brought pictures.
Picture. There
That's a good.
Little Thomas.
Little Thomas. Well, congratulations to you and your wife.
Papa.
Thank you very much.
James Lankford.
Good morning.
In this morning with us. How are you doing?
Very well.
Well, are you guys getting any rest at all?
Probably not very much.
Yeah, I know it's been busy, and we're kind of in a fight to the finish because next Tuesday is the runoff day. You'll be going to the polls, and this is a big election, and already things have been pretty calm so far.
Well, the Edmund Sun has just come out. As you know, this has become a bit of a firestorm here with an article saying that you took some things out of context that they had printed. And I'd like to get your response to that right now. And, by the way, we have all received these cards in the mail as well.
And here's what it said, basically, was that Kevin Calvey has prosecuted more than 100 al-Qaeda terrorists and that you'd fight for our safety. Like James Lankford falsely accused you of being biased. Lankford is either very naive about terrorism or is just another politician desperate to score points against Calvey. Either way, James Lankford is not ready to serve in Congress. And Mr. Calvey, I mean, the Edmund Sun basically said you have misled the public and that they did not say this. And with the Edmund Sun's name right underneath it, they don't seem happy about it. And James, I know we're going to talk with you about it as well.
Here's what they're talking about. When we put this here on the piece, if we had put it right here, there wouldn't be any questions. We did two things in this. We pointed out some things that Mr. Lankford had said about me attacking me, accusing me of political posturing for my stand on terrorism. Obviously, I take terrorism very seriously. I served in Iraq and personally encountered over 100 terrorists. I sent a buddy of mine home with a shrapnel wound through his arm from a terrorist attack. And I don't appreciate being accused of political posturing. What they're saying is, and I'm happy to clarify this, is this part right here was something that was our response to that. This should not have been attributed to the Edmund Sun.
You put the two together instead of separating. Is that what you're saying?
It's an inadvertent mistake,
yeah.
And I'm happy to clarify that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were not happy about it, to read it, to make it look like under the guise of that, including James Lankford here. James, what are your thoughts, and what would you like to, even ask Mr. Calvey?
Well, it's a frustrating thing, obviously, to be able to have a piece that goes out and declares to the entire district. I mean, to be able to sit here on the news this morning and say, well, gosh, we just put it in the wrong spot, mail it out to 50,000 voters across the area, then later make a statement about it. There's been no retraction. There's been no, hey, we gave a false statement to it. It's just an interesting piece. It's kind of a pattern. As most people receive these things in their mail all week long, there's been a pattern every day of stretching the truth more and more and more every day.
So what was the context of the quote that is being taken out of context in your opinion?
Sure.
What happened in the interview?
Sure. There was a reporter that contacted me from the Edmund Sun.
Back in March.
Correct. We're talking 160 days ago, back in March, that made a comment to me and said that Kevin is refusing to meet with the leadership of CARE, and we asked about how I would handle things on that. So I sent him a written statement. That written statement was printed in it. It didn't deal with meeting with the leadership of CARE, or definitely didn't deal with Mr. Calvey and his stand on terrorism. In fact, it said very clearly, stand against terrorism and all those things, but also mentioned in there that I can't paint all Muslims with the same biased brush. So it was a fairly clear statement that has been completely taken out of context and blown apart.
What is your position while we're here? Because we got in a lot of questions from our viewers and also on Facebook, and a lot of people want to know, what is your stand of freedom of religion, Muslims, Christianity in America today?
It's a wonderful thing about America. With our constitutional system, everyone is free to have any religion they want or to have no religion.
Mr. Calvey?
Well, certainly we have freedom of religion, and I worked every day in Iraq with Muslims. Some of them fight very bravely against terrorism, but this group, CARE, does not. And to say that you will meet with a group like that, that's like saying you'll meet with the Ku Klux Klan. And it's wrong. It is a major difference between Mr. Lankford and myself. I have the experience and the passion to deal with terrorism that Mr. Lankford simply lacks. He's never served in the military. He has no experience dealing with it. I've come face to face, closer than I am to you right now, from over 100 terrorists. And I know that we need to denounce these groups over here that are using propaganda for terrorism. CARE, for instance, is in favor of building this mosque at Ground Zero. Just 2 weeks ago, the board chairman of CARE Oklahoma was charged with several felonies in federal court here. This is a dangerous group.
Obviously, terrorism is on the minds of every American, but also right now, the economy is on the minds
Absolutely.
of every single American. Unemployment is on the minds of every single American. Education and the lack of funding thereof. What are you both, and I want you both to answer this question. Number one, education. What are you going to do to get money back in the classrooms where it's needed? We'll start with you.
Sure. The best thing that we can do for education in Oklahoma is to pull the federal strings away from us and let us do education in Oklahoma. What's the best way to do education? And stop having the federal government try to run what's going on in Oklahoma.
What do you think?
I would agree with that. I think that Ronald Reagan campaigned on abolishing the Federal Department of Education. He was right then, and it's the right thing to do now. It's a state and local issue.
We're having a lot of questions from our viewers that have been texting in on illegal immigration, and a lot of folks have talked about Oklahoma's law being Arizona plus. What is your stand on illegal immigration on the federal level and what they're doing in Arizona? We'll ask both of you guys that question right now. Kevin?
Sure. The federal government has completely dropped the ball on their responsibility to secure our borders and enforce our immigration laws, and has left the states with no choice but to act on that matter. So Arizona's law is very appropriate. I believe that they will enforce it in a fair and constitutional manner, but it just simply says that we are going to also, as a state, enforce the federal laws with regard to immigration, and that is that we, those who are here illegally, need to be deported, and that we cannot countenance people just wantonly violating our immigration laws.
What do you think, James?
Sure, absolutely. The current immigration laws that we have on the books across the nation, we need to enforce. That's our biggest issue. We have laws on the books that we're not enforcing. It is an area that Mr. Calvey and I have some differences on. Both of us are very strong in immigration in a lot of ways, but when he was a legislator in 2003, he authored a bill, that was House Bill 1559, where he forced Oklahoma colleges to provide discount tuition to the children of illegals. And that was a long bill. It was very controversial at the time that he authored, and pushed through and did press conferences to be able to press it through. It's an area where I don't agree that we should create subsidies for the children of illegals that encourages folks to be able to come here and stay illegal, rather than either come here, stay, and then just leave out.
And that's not accurate.
You were the sole author of that bill, is that correct?
Yeah, first of all, that's not accurate. That law was intended to assist people who were not children of illegals, but people who were automatically going to be getting their citizenship and legal residency. They were just waiting on the paperwork.
Okay.
And that has been taken out of context. My position on immigration, I'm endorsed by the Minuteman Project. That ought to tell you that I am the stronger candidate on immigration
Let me ask you
enforcement.
guys something, because here's one thing. I think most people in Oklahoma know that both of you guys are conservative. You both have said that you're Christian men. What is the difference that you've run for office many times and you haven't? Is that what you think is bad about him, and that's what you think is bad about him? So you tell us, why should people vote for you, that you're the better candidate? Because I think this is kind of where the difference is of you two, that you know, you're similar in many areas. But
Sure.
We're running out of time, so
Yeah.
quickly answer both of this.
Okay,
Both of-
first of all, I've done nothing other than respond to attacks made against me. And a lot of those attacks were made when I was in the hospital with my wife after complications after her
what
delivery.
attacks are you talking? I don't.
He's impugned my integrity in the military. For instance, he has an ad going on right now that says that
How
I'm a
did he
career
impugn-
politician.
Tell us how he did that.
He said I'm a career politician, and that's during a time when I was risking my life to serve our country, to preserve his right to speak.
Well, being a career politician isn't necessarily a negative. I mean, there are people who have done great things in this country who are called career politicians.
Well, I'm not a career politician. I was serving our country in Iraq during the time
But
he says I
you've run
was.
for office over the last 14 years, 7 or so times, correct?
I haven't been in office in 4 years now. It was
Right,
a
I'm
long
just
time
saying, but
ago.
you have run for office. I
Before,
mean,
yes.
But that's very offensive to you that he called you a career politician.
During a time when I was serving our country.
And on the
yes.
other side of that
I'm trying to
coin-
figure out the during a time when you were serving your country, since I just said that maybe a couple of weeks ago, that you're obviously still in the National Guard as an attorney with the National Guard. But that's one of those things that's always confusing to me, Kevin, is that every time anyone says anything to you, it's always a race behind, well, I'm a vet, and so you can't ever talk to me about any issue. I'd never, ever, and I've mentioned this to you multiple times, never run down your military service. I personally have come from a military family. My stepfather was in the Navy. I grew up all in the middle of it. You've talked about how I would take on terrorism. It's very interesting to see the last piece you sent out that just was received has a picture of the World Trade Center ruins on it and says the 9/11 families are against James Lankford, when my family was in the Pentagon the day it was taken down. And so you're sitting there saying the 9/11 families are against me, which is completely beyond the pale. It's just amazing to me, the one lie
They
after
are,
another that
and
comes out.
that's why 2 veterans groups and the group of 9/11 survivors have denounced you because of your attacks on me.
They don't even know me. There's a Washington, D.C. group and other groups.
It's in the
stuff
groups
that your
here.
campaign wrote, sent to them, they sent
Absolutely
back.
not. No,
So-
these are people, you can call them yourself. They're quoted on the back of it.
You know what? We got to get to another. We can't let Obamacare slide by without talking about that.
Absolutely
Where do you
not.
guys stand on Obamacare quickly?
Dead set against it. We've got to repeal it. We've got to get a chance to defund it as soon as we can and rewrite a new thing. We've got to do something with health care, but it's not this.
Absolutely. We got to repeal it, defund it, and I'm not even waiting until then. I filed a constitutional challenge against Obamacare that over 1,000 Oklahomans have joined me in. So we need to fight it with everything we've got.
All right. Next Tuesday, we'll know who will be taking on Billy Coyle, and that's a whole other subject that we'll get into, and we'll be talking, I'm sure, with...
He is hoping the two of you implode, is basically.
Here's the issue. You'll be asked to go to the polls if you're in the 5th District. Next Tuesday, August 24th, the polls will open at 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Men, we appreciate you coming in because this is how voters can definitely see where the differences are. And we thank you for your time this morning, both of you coming in.
Glad to.
All right.
And we hope this has helped our viewers as well to get to know you a little bit more and have an informed decision when they go to the polls and make that little black line.